Happening. Hello, welcome to Cult.Exe, a channel here at Plus One EXP. I'm Sarah, the high-level monk and cult leader here at Plus One.
And I'm KeganExe, the content necromancer and other cult leader here at Plus One.
Plus One is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. The dream and hope here at Plus One is to help amazing designers find great players whose games who love their games, and help amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. I always think ahead on that. Like I'm actively trying to memorize it,
It's
and
easy
every
to do.
time,
It's so easy.
I'm just gonna start doing it in my
Have we
in my
ever gotten
sleep.
a clear take of that from you, Sarah?
Yes, we absolutely have. I know that it exists. It's just never one that you paid attention to.
Sarah, I just looked at the stream and saw our 6th player.
We were waiting till you caught that bit, but we've been planning it.
Yeah, it's a very good bit.
I had zero doubt it was a planned bit, but it's very good.
It is very, very good.
That is a dead ringer for Christian Sorrell Meat Castle, who could not join us tonight last minute, too.
There you have it. But we're all here together right now. We're playing Bring Me the Head of the Earthling, Sigourney Weaver. How is this Christmas related? It's what Kegan wanted for Christmas. Merry Christmas, Kegan. May all your holiday wishes come true. Can you tell us a little bit about this buck wild game we're about to play?
Before we do that, we should probably introduce the other people playing.
I know, but I wanted to talk about the game. I'm excited. Let's introduce the other people. Let's start with Ray. Ray, can you tell the people who you are and where you're from and a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Ray. I'm also a game designer and streamer here on Twitch as well. I'm New York based, and yeah.
Awesome. And the other person of mystery, Joe.
And my name is Joe. I am an RPG editor, and sometimes I get to play games.
Awesome.
You can find me at the Third Joe on Twitter. Also, I'm streaming to you live from the same house as Kegan.
I hate Kegan so much right now.
It's so good every time.
It's amazing. And there's one other person here that we've never seen, actually.
No,
just kind of wandered into the Google Meet.
I bought a Twitch stream a while ago, started fixing it up. People were like, hey, can we meet in your basement? We promise we're not a cult. And it turns out they were. So I'm just your friendly cult landlord, Tony Vicinda. I'm chief alchemist at Plus One EXP, which is the upstairs of that Twitch stream. The cult meets downstairs. But yeah, I'm super excited. I think this is the first cult stream game I'm playing on.
I mean,
technically yesterday the overlay said cult on it, but you did run the game.
We included in all of them. I think this is the first one
true.
that was conceived of by the cult, and I didn't just glom onto a part one of.
That's true.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so, Sarah, could you make it look like I'm not a little boy who's trying to sit at the table with everybody else on the stream?
But I like it. I wasn't gonna say anything about it. I hope that you wouldn't notice.
Get my hands right on the edge of the.
I always think it's very funny, Tony. You're so far low.
You're always low on your camera.
But because I size everybody to be about the same size as their head. And when I shoot videos, it's good to have all this empty space because then we can out. And I just leave my camera set up the same way all the time.
Wow, what a flex. Well, listen, while I bring Tony to the big kids table, Kegan, I'll ask you once again to tell us about this game.
Yeah, we're playing Bring Me the Head of the Earthling, Sigourney Weaver. It's one of my favorite games. It's by Unplaytested, which is a podcast by Laura Turner and Alex Guerrero. I tried to say too much all at once. Yeah, it's a story game about aliens who have already successfully invaded Earth and how their machinations are undone and the Empire destroyed through Earth's rebel force. A rebel force largely led by celebrities who are somehow able to leverage their extensive media experience fighting aliens into real-world heroism. I did not read directly off the PDF.
I could tell. I could tell. It felt like it was really heartfelt and sincere. And I liked that about it. So we're going to play this now. And I'm very excited. How do we begin?
Yeah, of course. So we're going to hop over to, we have a little character keeper. Which I'm saying out loud so Sarah can switch the overlay as I say it. Great. Yeah, we have a little character keeper, and we are going to create an alien empire. Oh yeah, we should probably talk safety tools. We haven't done that yet. On the channel, we use lines, veils, and the X card. We have a strong line on sexual violence. Does anyone else have any other lines or fails they want to discuss or drop in the Discord?
I think I'm good.
Great.
That covers it for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Well, with that, then, back to the alien species card. Yeah, so we are gonna discover what sort of aliens we are here. We're gonna want to choose 3 unpleasant and fearsome adjectives for our alien empire. And we're gonna give each of them a rating: 1 at 4, 1 at 3, 1 at 2. That'll be how many dice you roll if you call on that adjective.
Okay.
They have some examples: bureaucratic, manipulative, seductive, vain, amorphous, etc. What are we feeling like?
And we're creating one alien empire for all of us. This is
Yes,
a
yes,
shared
yes.
alien empire.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go with the regurgitator.
Hell yeah.
Very
I feel like
good.
every time Joe, this has been a running thing, isn't it?
That wasn't.
Yeah.
It's not just because of Joe. If it had been Joe, I would have just said the extruders, and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, no, that does mean one of our traits should be extruding. and we
Extruding
don't
has
have
to be one of our
Extruding.
traits.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put that at 3. If
For
we
people
extrude,
who don't know what we're talking about, I like to play characters that extrude things. Joe has to deal with hearing me talk about extruding things when that happens a lot of the time.
Yeah. Big facts.
do we have other adjectives? Or if you're in the chat and you're like, hey, I'd like your aliens to be like this, go for it too.
Wow, extruding is 3 seems a little OP, but I'm here for it. I mean, I've already swung very big. Ray, Joe, what do y'all got?
Trying to think of something that goes along well with these.
I think it's better if it doesn't go.
Yeah, in fact, it might be significantly better if it doesn't go along well.
I want us to do vain. I think that's funny.
Yeah, do you feel like we're
Yeah.
extremely vain at like a 4, or like just a little vain at a 2?
Ooh. I think we're just kind of vain. Just a little
vain
bit.
enough to think the song is about us.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but to know that it's not.
Right.
Unless.
But is it?
Unless.
Yes.
All right, Ray. That means 4's on you.
Oh boy.
What you got for us?
We're vain. We like extruding.
Let's go with cruel.
Cruel. Hell
Ooh.
yeah.
Nice.
So I put cruel in.
I
Great.
like when the non-cruel option is being extruding or vain.
Yeah, it's gonna go great. Did we name our alien species the regurgitators? Was that what
I said regurgitators, but only because I was like, okay, in Weaver, or not Weaver, lore, and who's the director? Who's the director of all of them? Ripley.
Yeah.
Like things I like to they're all just named a thing, right? Like this is the alien. Like it's technically a xenomorph, but it's the alien. Or it's the predator, right? Like
Right.
they all have special names, but I like just thinking about us as the name that everybody else calls us. A regurgitator was what I came up with, but we did end up with extruder on the list, so I'm fine if we end up with something else besides regurgitator.
I think the
listen.
Regurgitators could be an 80s movie.
I agree with this.
Yeah, no, I like this. All right, crew. What do we look like? Are you heavily bespiked dinosaurs? Are you gross slimes in silk suits? What's our style here?
If it's a spectrum, what you've just introduced, I would say we're more on the like slime and suits end than the like spiked dinosaurs. Or is everybody getting that vibe?
Yeah, if it's a spectrum, I get that vibe. I also do like incredibly grotesque but immaculately dressed. I do like as a vibe, period.
Yeah.
Like and so if we want to go with a different type of grotesque, I'm down with that though. But
I'm happy to write for look description grotesque and wearing a suit, and we can just figure out what that means as we go.
grotesque and finely dressed, I think is like everything. And if one of us doesn't tweet that by the end of the show, I'm quitting everything.
And I think we definitely have like really big mouths
Oh, for sure.
to regurgitate better.
Do they always appear big, or do they get uncannily big when we prepare to regurgitate?
It's gotta like bad CG get bigger since this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like 80s alien vibe is just real strong here. Cool. And then likewise, what's our text style? Are we shiny and chrome? Are we rusty and belching noxious fumes? Etc. I was just gonna keep reading directly off the page, and I realized I don't actually have to do that.
I like the idea of a lot of liquids and pipes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I like this a lot.
I feel like we need one more tone to that though, of something.
We're vain, so I think there's lots of filigree on everything.
Yes.
Like little delicate, like
Little
joiny
delicate
patterns.
details. But like, you know that if we drop it, it's super duper gonna break.
Great. And with that, we get on to our grand endeavor. So we're up to something evil.
Amazing.
Maybe we're stealing all the dirt to pave Earth to make an interstellar shopping center. Maybe we're trying to eat all the people. The game specifically says there are games in this world about the subtle and lingering dangers of colonialist ideology, and there are also games in which the bad guys build the universe's largest pollution factory, and this is the second type of game. So what's our stupid big grand endeavor here?
I mean, Not Alone Horror just gifted 5 subs. If they just want to called shot that, they absolutely can. Like, even if we say something between now and then, you are welcome to just tell us what it is.
I will happily go back and change it.
Say the question one more time, Keegan, while we vamp.
Yeah. What is our grand endeavor? What's the big evil plan? Why do we want to take over Earth? It's a real thinking man's game.
I know.
Yeah. Is it? You said you know?
I said no. I'm agreeing with the fact that this is taking a lot of mental faculty to come up with the long con.
Is it because Earth is the only galactic source of antacids?
Ooh, they want to eat all of our Tums.
I don't know whether this is about getting rid of all the Tums or getting all the Tums, but I feel like it's got to be one of those two things.
Ooh, yeah. We can go either way, right? Tums are an affront to the beauty that is ourselves, or we require them so we can continue our expanse across the universe.
Are there multiple factions within our society? Is Tums the dividing factor?
Yeah.
It's a thing we're going to discover for sure. Under Grand Endeavor, I just wrote, we're going to capture all the world's antacids, and we'll figure out what that means. So,
oh, no.
I've already, to the right on this page, there's 2 checkboxes per player. So we'll have to, it's going to take us 10 successful dice rolls to capture all the world's antacids and fuck off. But before we can get there, it's time for us to make characters. Each of us is going to be a high-ranking member of the Empire with a title. We're going to have, I approve of the Grand Antacid Heist. Hell yeah. Each of us have a dumb alien title. The ones they give as examples are Executive in Charge of Oxygen Consumption Analytics or Duke of Europe. Any title we come up with here are vaguely understood to be relatively alike in dignity. We also have a rank. Everyone starts at 1. And that'll also double as our name. Which is to say, hey, everyone, name your fucking alien.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Where do we put that name?
On your character sheet, it'll say current title.
I thought that was for our title.
Our title is our name.
Yes.
Our title is our name?
Yeah.
Our title is our name.
Okay. I got mine.
Oh no.
It's stupid.
Cool. I am good.
I'm peeping these, trying to peep these names, but some
Hey,
people
get it! Quit peeping
have,
them.
have left their thing on, so I can't peep it.
No, Tony, how dare you?
Well, now I'm doing it too.
I'm a name peeper.
I'm not peeping.
I'm open about my name peeping, and I won't be shamed.
Can that be your title? Chief
Just name
exec,
peeper.
chief executive of name peeping.
That's not bad.
Very good.
Chief peeper. Wait, now.
Wait a minute.
Chief peepers certainly something.
It's quite
It's a
something.
thing.
It makes me really happy.
Sarah, in the nicest way possible. I don't feel like it takes very much to make you very happy.
It doesn't. I am often reminded, like most of the time, it's like, oh, I just need a nap.
Look at Keegan already metagaming with their name.
Wow.
You know. Damn, I can't believe you looked at it. Let's go around. Let's go around and tell our names. So I've taken the title Lord of Tums Cold Storage.
Okay. I do like that. Yeah, Joe, hit us with your title.
I am the Grand Digester.
Phenomenal. Ray,
I've gone with Director of Containers.
this is this is wonderful. I like it a lot. I'm Baron of Bridge Burning.
I just have a question. Does cold storage fall underneath containers?
No, we are believed to be like in dignity.
That doesn't mean that doesn't fall underneath it. I mean, your department could be the big one that brings in all the money. So, I am. What did I make my dumb name? Chief Over Extruder Debris.
Hell
I
yeah!
do like that.
I'm definitely gonna remember all of these. So each of us has a rank that starts at 1. That should already be right. That's our name. Great. The player who's conquered the most of the planet will be the prisoner for the first round. I'm just gonna pretend that's me right now.
Excellent.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Great. So we're gonna do our first meeting. So we're getting into the game proper, as it were. It is time for time for the folks in charge of the planet to gather and talk. The prisoner decides where the meeting's taking place, generally speaking. It will occur immediately before or during some event whose purpose is to advance the grand agenda. Remember that I'm a high-ranking official, so I'm not personally getting my hands dirty. Instead, this is a cocktail party at a floating platform overlooking the whole human hunting ground or whatever. So I'm going to start the discussion by proudly announcing what the next step to advance the grand endeavor is. After that, we're going to take a few minutes to discuss the goings on Earth. This is largely free play, so do what feels right. But remember that you are awful, so there should be some snide comments and backstabbing and luxuriating over your domination over the Earthlings. When the time seems right, we're going to wrap up the meeting and move on to the roll. But before we get there, let's talk about personal agendas. At any point during the meeting, if you do not currently have a personal agenda, you can create one. Announce to the others what you're trying to make happen. This isn't the same as the grand endeavor. It's something that's very specifically benefits you and your domain. Are you trying to thaw out the former Canada to make it more comfortable? Are you trying to fill in the Grand Canyon to make a golf course? Petty is good. We're going to write our personal agenda on our character sheet. And then we'll discuss how difficult we think it is as a group. And we'll give it a difficulty rating of 2 to 4. And yeah, usually this should be a 2 would be something we'd knocked out in like a week. 4 is something that might be an actual challenge for us. And then we'll figure out what those do later. That being said, I should have used all this time I was talking to look up where I was.
But you were too busy talking.
I was. Cool. So we are on a UFO sort of floating over St. Louis. We're at the Big Tums factory. I'm explaining to you all, like, so this is of course where all the Tums come from. So we're going to start by capturing the factory.
God damn it, Keegan, I hate that that's actually where the primary Tums factory is.
I very fastly Googled while I talked about not Googling during that section.
I'm going to St. Louis in 2 weeks. So I was like, is Keegan just making a comment here?
No.
I mean, they're all here.
No, but this is where I think most of them should be at a single time. After this is going to be a real boots on the ground operation. We have to go house by house and dwelling by dwelling and collect individual tums from people.
And we're going to go down there and get the tums.
Well, we're not going down there, but the underlings are.
I meant you know what I meant. I didn't mean we.
You're new to your title. I wasn't sure what you meant.
Of course, I have to ask, are we using these paltry containers that they are putting the tums in, or are we going to use our finest containers?
I mean, have you made enough of our finest containers?
Well, we're working on it.
So no.
It's in progress.
I think we'll have to leave them in the bad containers. We want the containers to match at the very least.
What if we made a few very large containers rather than a number of very small containers?
What if we
did
do that?
If we were to consume the tums, we would
the
need as
tums?
many containers.
Heresy, brother digester.
Just a few. 1,000.
You're looking for an end to our society.
I had a pod mate who consumed a tum once. We don't speak of what happened to them.
Well, I'm sure your podmate was not as experienced a digester as I
said
am,
we
obviously.
don't speak of what happened to them.
Very well.
But surely we can't consume all of them, or we won't be able to regurgitate anymore. There'll be a maximum.
I hear if you squeeze hard enough, you can regurgitate anything.
I think with that, we should move over to our first roll. So I'm going to decide which of our attributes is most applicable to this stage of the grand endeavor, which we have cruel extruding in vain. Cool. God, I feel like this is a vanity plan for me. I just want to say I got the most of the tums. So I'm going to say I'm going to roll 2 dice here.
Okay.
And then everybody else, you can choose to roll 1 to 3 dice. The more you roll, the more personal effort you're putting into my particular plan.
And do we know what your particular plan is besides get all the tums?
It is to take over this tums factory specifically.
To take over the tums factory specifically.
Yeah. So if my plan works, I will of course get the credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna roll a number of dice over here.
2.
A number.
I'm rolling 3. It's the 2 for Vane, and then I'm also putting in 1 because I shouldn't have to do that much work.
What do we do with this roll that we have?
I will say in just a second, but we're gonna split our dice up. So is everyone rolled?
Yes. I have,
Yes.
Cool. So any of your dice you rolled that are a 1 or 2, those are failures. So we're just gonna toss those out immediately.
That's me. Hi. I rolled a 1. I'm out.
Beautiful. Then we're gonna go around. Who rolled a 3 to 5? I rolled 1.
As our highest or any?
Any.
I rolled 1.
Cool.
I rolled 2.
Great. So we can each put 1. Everyone who rolled a 3 to 5, you can put 1 point towards the grand endeavor for each 3 to 5 you rolled, or you can put it towards a personal plan for your personal agenda that you start right now. But this was my plan, so I'm gonna put my 1 point towards the grand endeavor here.
right.
All right. And then if anyone rolled a 6, that signifies the efforts of the underground. And we're gonna put those aside for a second.
I got a 6.
I got a 6.
Oh no.
The underground did real damn good this time around.
I also got a 6. I rolled 3 dice and got one perfectly in each pile. Yeah, so on your page you'll see you have 3 little resistance boxes unchecked. Each of us is going to go ahead and check one of those. How did the resistance hamper our efforts here?
I think it's my crew went down, landed on the surface, and was like immediately started looking around for bridges to burn. And I think like the resistance just put up these weird cardboard cutouts around the facility, blocking the view of any nearby bridges. And my guys were like, well, and just beamed right back up. Like literally.
I don't know how much you know about St. Louis.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah.
There's a large geographic.
There's a really
large
big bridge
visual
there.
feature. It's not a bridge,
100%.
but it does look a lot like one.
Yeah, 100%. They just hid that from the skyline. With like, I really do imagine it was just big old cardboard cutouts. And my guys were like, just went back. Like, our job is done.
It's a big sign that says "not a bridge."
Yeah, not a bridge.
Well, the funny thing was that because it wasn't a bridge, I assumed it was a mountain, and I'm really trying to prove to everybody that I can squeeze the planet hard enough to solve this problem. And so I did squeeze the St. Louis Gateway Arch, and it has come tumbling down. So it was actually the same thing that they did that caused my plan to be foiled, but only because I thought it was a mountain instead because it wasn't a bridge.
Right.
Yeah, I think I sent a number of I was trying to capture this factory, and I sent a number of people and just was not properly backed by my brethren here. And we were outnumbered. It was embarrassing, honestly. we sent a number of regurgitators in, and they were just beat back by the janitorial staff.
Mm-hmm.
They have a spray.
No, get it away from me. And then did anyone else roll a 6?
I did.
Yeah, Ray, how did they stop you?
Well, my team didn't actually go to the factory. We went to find proper containers for these Tums. So we took our own initiative, and it obviously didn't help.
That's what we get for splitting up, everyone. But with that, we are back to the meeting phase. Who wants to take over the second meeting?
Classic RPG issues. We split the party too early. I'll take it over. Do I change the location, or are we in the same location?
Your choice.
We are at the a very fancy restaurant that used to be at the base of the Gateway Arch, but is now just inopportunely placed near a vaguely picturesque part of the river that it went over. Trying out Earth cuisine, taking it in, regurgitating it back up, passing it along as you do. All right, well, it looks like some folks didn't follow the plan last time. I won't say
some
who.
folks were trying to extrude a bridge, I believe it was.
Now hold on.
I was trying to extrude a mountain.
There were no bridges. I would know. Okay. There were none.
Yeah.
I was told there'd be bridges for me to burn. And yet, it makes me sick. I can't believe I'm not extruding right now.
You could see the bridge from the factory, and if you had dedicated more forces, perhaps.
What? How could I dedicate more forces? There were no bridges.
It wasn't a bridge. The humans
are
part of
tricky.
the thing.
They build things that look like
Right.
bridges, but not technically bridges.
Look, here's the deal. I think what's most important is is really not about necessarily just getting the Tums that are right here, because are there a lot of Tums here? Absolutely. Does that mean that afterwards we have to gather all the Tums up and go boots on the ground door to door? Yes, it does. That sounds like a lot of work. I think it's really about not cutting them off, not just at this source, but at the actual source. And what's the primary active ingredient in Tums? Calcium carbonate. Where is
Tony-
the
Glad
world's
I'm looking
largest,
at the same things.
largest deposit of calcium carbonate? You ask?
I do ask.
That's a great question, and I can't wait to tell you because it's a huge part of my plan. Calcium carbonate is one of the most abundant minerals on Earth, but only Earth for some reason, and it accounts for about 4% of the Earth's crust. It can be found in 3 principal types of rock: chalk, limestone, and marble. So really what I'm saying is the primary location in which we find it is Earth. And what's the best way to get something out of the Earth to take care of it? You just gotta squeeze it. You gotta squeeze the Earth. You gotta get in there and dig real hard and just extrude that calcium carbonate out. And once it's out, then it's easy to deal with. You basically, if you squeeze hard enough, it's kind of like turning the Earth into one giant Tums. And then we only need one container that we put the one Earth Tum in, and then we're done.
I don't like this plan.
That
I
sounds
believe
Yeah,
the
you
better
like
plan.
plans that don't succeed. We get it. You
No,
like
we're
plans where the resistance
trying
goes up and stops
something
everyone.
new, and I'm going to take over, and I'm going to introduce a personal agenda right now. I'm going to take over as the CEO of Tums.
I mean, that's
They
fine.
control all of the calcium carbonate on Earth, I believe.
I mean, they don't, but they would know the locations of all the calcium carbonate mines. I think this plays perfectly into my plan, and I'm totally glad you're deeply on board with identifying all the locations. So when we squeeze the Earth as hard as possible, we will know where it's going to ooze out of from between the, I think they call them tumtonic plates.
It's like you've never taken over a planet in your entire lives. How do you
I-
defeat the enemy? You cut
must-
supply lines. We
I
need to
must
get rid of the
say
bridges.
I prefer my stolen resources in more bite-sized portions.
In proper containers.
Metaphorically, of course, yes. But I'm sure we could carve it up once we extrude the entire thing.
Is this still part of your plan to eat the Tums? Because there shall be no consuming of them.
Well, and I'll say it again. It happened to my podmate one time. We don't talk about it, but it was not pleasant. Also, bite size is really a matter of perspective for how big your mouth is. As all of a sudden my normal size mouth expands out to like dwarf the entire upper half of the room. I think I could get even bigger if I needed to. But seriously, like what is bite size with the size of mouths that we have?
Well, certainly no larger than 3/4 of my body mass.
Have you considered having larger body mass?
Well, that's why I consume things that are not the stolen antacids.
Why doesn't he just consume the smaller ones?
And gain their power.
I poison myself with a little bit of calcium carbonate every single day so that I slowly build up an immunity.
It
Inconceivable.
feels- We're likely ready to roll here.
All right. So in order to advance the grand agenda, my plan is that we just got to squeeze the planet real hard. And be ready. We're gonna get some people in Belgium. We're gonna get some people in Egypt. We're gonna get some people in France and some people in China, because that's about about 40% of the world's calcium carbonate could be extruded out of those countries, with Belgium containing
Having
0.3% of the world's exports of
as
it,
you know.
as anyone knows. And so obviously this is an extruding plan. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's really no debating that.
No, there really isn't. So you can roll Tony, you will roll 3 for extruding, and then you can add 1 to 3 of your own personal dice to that.
All right. And essentially when we're rolling these dice, we're essentially just risking what good or bad things could happen. Is this correct?
Yeah, because if you roll, 2 more 6s, you're dead.
I'm using the wrong type of roller for this. Hold on. And everybody else can choose how many they want to roll, correct?
Yep, we can all choose to roll 1 to 3.
I'm rolling 3 for this plan because I love it.
Tony is quietly putting away his 6-weighted dice and
Well,
switching
so
to his
my
3.5-weighted dice.
no, my digital machine, like you can basically only look at the last 2 die rolls. So when you get up too high, it is no longer effective, and that is when I switch over to Google, typically, in all honesty. All right.
So everyone separates your 1s and 2s, your 3s through 5s, and your 6s. And then we can just go around like we did last time. Sarah, why don't you start?
I've got I've got a 3 and a 4 and 1 6.
Cool. Joe.
I have 2 2s.
Wonderful. You're completely useless to us. Ray.
Got a 3.
Okay, cool. I have 2 2s and a 6.
I have 1 1, 2 3s, a 4, a 5, and a 6.
Good night.
Okay. Yeah. Tony, you're gonna be very useful here. Cool. So I'll start with me. I had 0 successes and got hurt by the resistance. So I think while you all were doing this plan, Lord of Tum's Cold Storage was having an interview for the recently opened CEO position. He did eat the previous CEO, but they don't need to know that. And Lord of Tum's Cold Storage comes into the interview room, and it's Sigourney Weaver. She's been there waiting for him. And she she pulls a gun, and I get out of there, but it's close.
I have an important question.
Yeah.
What happens when you complete an agenda? Because could I have advanced our agenda a whole lot? Absolutely. Did I just choose to take my 4 successes and put them into my personal agenda of squeeze the planet hard enough? Absolutely, I just didn't, and totally rocketed that track to the end.
Yeah. So your personal agenda, you get a new title based on it.
Awesome.
And in the future, you'll be able to use your new title. If it feels like your title would help you, you'll get an additional dice on it. And next time you roll a 6, you can choose to burn your title instead of losing health.
Awesome. And that it's only for additional titles that you gain that bonus D6.
Yep.
So
what is the new title you have?
it is
Oh no.
Give me a second. Come back to me, because I've got something matriculated in the back of my head, but it's not quite there yet.
Cool. Who wants to go next then?
I have a scheme. There is a substance on this planet known as capsaicin. And I've heard that it is the primary cause for humans to consume antacids. So I think the easiest way to do this would simply be to put pepper in everything the humans eat. They'll burn up their stockpiles and we won't have to go door to door.
Honestly, a brilliant strategy. How difficult do we feel like that is?
I think that this is probably I think this is probably a 4.
Yeah, that feels right to me.
It's pretty hard to put pepper in everything.
In
that humans
everything.
eat.
An ongoing pepper and everything policy.
this also may have something to do with my personal agenda of finding the hottest food that Tums could allow me to eat if I were to obtain access to the stockpile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you had 0 successes, right?
For the previous round?
For what we just rolled, right?
Oh, yes.
Cool. Great. Ray, Sarah.
So for mine, I got the 2 successes and the 1 6. So I feel the way that I helped the plan was my fellow extruder had mentioned that there were a lot of this thing we were trying to get in China. And I was able to cause a diversion by burning down the world's longest bridge, the Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge, which stretches 102 miles. And I was able to draw away reinforcements as my brothers began to just squeeze the earth really hard. And that did, in fact, push forward my personal agenda, as I was very happy seeing it burn. But I was hurt by the resistance in that while celebrating my success, I was nearly ambushed by someone in a very fast car. I wasn't able to get a good look at him, but because it was too fast and the windows were too tinted. But
okay, yeah,
I was
He
afraid.
was
For a
very
moment.
furious. Real mad.
Seemingly.
Cool. Ray, what about you?
I got 1 success, so I think that's going to advance my personal agenda of making containers great again and helping helping the team by supplying any sort of liquids that we need, burning bridges, like, bringing the lighter fluid and all that in various containers that are very good to look at, as opposed to the Tums containers, which are ugly to look at. And that's about it.
Yeah, perfect. Tony, tell us about your new title.
Yes. They have in Belgium. I earned the title of Waffle Liege of Earth. Mainly because of the giant pincer-like movement that I created. That looked almost like a giant waffle press coming down onto Belgium and the Earth itself. But also the Liege waffle is a very popular type of waffle in Belgium. So really, it could just be that all the people were eating Liege waffles, and that I've taken that on myself, but probably not.
Yeah,
I did press very hard on the Earth. My plan went through without a hitch. However, it really, it only pushed the calcium carbonate out in Belgium. And so I also don't know how I'm going to get out of here because the resistance has surrounded me with calcium carbonate.
Oh no. Perfect. Well, with that, who wants to set up the next meeting?
I don't know who it's going to be, but please, I don't know how I'm getting out of Belgium.
I don't know. Bridges in Belgium.
A lot of
We're
Googling that happens in this game.
We're in Belgium over the largest bridge.
One of my favorite diegetic aspects of this game is that we are as unaware of our own planet as the aliens who are trying to invade. And we are learning so much as we play about the scientific reality of our world.
A new personal agenda where I become CEO of Google so I can make a stop. I need you to focus.
Yeah, we are focusing.
I'm very excited to hear you pronounce whatever you're about to say.
I'm going to angrily slam my gross little hands on the counter, and part of my little fingers will squish away before congealing back on, and just say, "The waffle liege of Earth is trapped, brothers, sisters, friends. We must retrieve them. Their plan was the closest thing that got me to the most bridge burning. Without them, I cannot achieve great heights. and great
Were you not
flames.
burning a bridge in China?
Yes, it was very long,
Is
but
the
look at
Waffle Liege not stuck in Belgium?
all of those small, tiny bridges down there. The Tornbrook, the Slettlebrook, the
The other bergs.
the other brooks.
I suppose. Although, if he were to die, we could just replace him.
No. I suggest, given that they are surrounded by the material in which they so boldly were willing to sacrifice their lives,
It sounds like you've already mentally allowed them to die.
we use the materials gathered to build a bridge to get them over the enemy, and then we burn it. This would get rid of the Tums, access to Tums. These materials are pointless to us. We do not have the knowledge to create the Tums. This is why we are here. So we burn the ingredients. They cannot make the Tums.
Make of the Tums.
Make of the tongue. I thought
Okay.
everybody heard that.
It's okay because I am Italian.
Thank you,
This
Tony.
is a pro Italian-X stream.
And besides, we get to destroy a small little town all at the same time.
I am for burning up the supply of calcium carbonate. That was the thing that Tums
I
are
can't
made out of.
remember.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Cool.
Yes.
I remember. I'm learning. This is an educational stream. This is edutainment. Yeah, unless anyone has anything else to add, I'm happy to roll here. Sarah, do you feel like this is cruel, extruding, or vain of you?
I think it's cruel. I think it's cruel for us to we're about to just burn a whole bunch of stuff up. I feel like that's cruel, but I'm happy to hear any other case.
I mean, it does seem like we're, and don't get me wrong, I did the same thing. But it does seem like this is a vain personal project that is not actually advancing the goal.
Oh, absolutely.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm happy to go with Vane.
Yeah. So Sarah, you'll roll 2 dice plus 1 to 3 of your personal dice, and
All
each of
three.
us is going
All
to roll
three.
1 to 3 of our personal dice.
I mean, I understand that it's lower risk, and right now, so I have marked off two resistance boxes. When I mark that third box, does that mean that the Waffle Liege has perished?
It does mean the Waffle Liege has perished, and you'll move over to playing as Sigourney Weaver, which is who the first person who dies plays as.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I wasn't going to risk it because I was like, I don't want the Waffle Liege to die, but now that I know there's a Sigourney Weaver on the table.
Yeah. No, it's not bad to die. But I'm gonna roll. I rolled 1 dice.
I rolled 3 dice.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to save the Waffle Liege all that bad, and I think this is a vain personal project of yours, not mine.
Correct.
Cool. We'll go around again. I just rolled 1 die, and it was failure. I'm really helpful here. What about you all?
I'm very tempted to lie and say I rolled a 6 so I can be Sigourney Weaver, but I actually rolled 2 successes and a failure.
I rolled 2 failures, 2 successes, and 1 resistant, 1 6.
I guess my personal agenda should be get out
of Belgium. I feel like that's a fairly easy personal agenda, so you should make that just 2 to succeed.
Yeah.
No, it's 4, baby. I'm stuck there until it's
It's a very hard task. Have you tried leaving Belgium?
Have you ever, especially when you're stuffed on waffles?
And there's no bridges.
Have put my 1 success toward my personal goal of finding the hottest food. I found a lovely little fry shop where I immediately gorged myself on some spicy fries. But as I was doing so, Sigourney Weaver slipped in and dumped extra salt upon my fries, and I am desiccating right now.
I just want to make sure that was a desiccating, not defecating, right?
Yes, desiccating.
Well,
No,
he's
we only
defecating, and it's
extrude.
why he's desiccating. Desiccated.
But I look real dry, a little bit wrinkly, and am not doing well.
Ray, how are you doing?
I got a 1 and a 3.
Cool.
So I'm going to put that to the... Do we have a plan to rescue Tony from Belgium, or is that his personal?
That's my personal agenda. I'm stuck in Belgium till I can get success.
You can throw that towards capture all the world's antacids if you're trying to do a thing
Sure,
that
I'll do
helps the
that.
group.
While
And we were each just going for 2 successes, right? That's the goal. So once we've got 2 successes, can we add more successes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so my team, while everyone's distracted with containing the waffle liege in Belgium, we went to another chalk mine in Spain and stole as much calcium carbonate as we could.
This is very good.
Those Spanish chalk mines.
Yes.
The Lord of Tums Cold Storage was convinced that the best way to become CEO was to work his way up in the company.
Mm-hmm.
So he is now working at a Tums factory. And he was not able to help on this mission because he did have a shifter. Perfect. Sounds like we have assigned all of our dice, though. So we're back to the meeting phase. Joe or Ray, do you want to set one of these up?
Well, you mentioned that one of the largest sources of this calcium carbonate is chalk.
That is true. It is what calcium carbonate is largely used for.
I've heard that chalk is largely used on sidewalks, correct?
You're not.
So if we strip the earth of its sidewalks, we could take all the chalk from them for ourselves. All we have to do is take all the sidewalks.
I thought we were against a door-to-door sort of mission, and this feels like there's a lot of sidewalk leading up to doors.
Look, I don't know if you know this, but sometimes when you go to pop one pimple, it's like you're actually extruding the pus out of like 5 pimples in a tight area. And it's kind of the same thing with sidewalks. If you can get them just right, you can just start peeling on one, and the whole strip will come up. If you're real careful, you can just kind of go around and around and around, I think, until you got all of them.
It also seems like something that needs a container.
Oh, of course. We'll need a lot of sidewalk containers.
Not if we get it in one long pull.
So
I'm not saying it has to happen that way. I'm just saying
one
if you
very
really
large
at least
container.
minimum one container.
I think that you've convinced me that this is an extruding plan.
Yeah.
At least that's how I'm going to go about this.
Viewers are just dropping right now. They're like, I don't know what I locked into. But all it is pimple popping.
There's some
and sidewalk
extruding.
extruding.
We're talking a lot about calcium carbonate. It's edutainment. Get used. I'm just gonna keep saying it's edutainment until people believe me, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
we do a lot of
extruding on this.
Look, when we're in dungeons, we do a lot of deep dives when we're playing OSR games about flashpoints, melt points, and other scientific bits of information that matter.
Cool. Well, Joe, in that case, you're gonna roll 3 for extruding, and then 1 to 3 of your personal dice, and each of us is also gonna roll 1 to 3 dice.
This is a race to see who Sigourney kills first at this point in time.
It really is. And it ain't me.
Well, she's made some progress on me.
Cool. Let's go around. Joe, what'd you roll?
Dang it.
So I rolled 2 3s.
Okay.
I've been making pretty good progress on this. I did find out that if you're really careful and you pull gently, you can in fact take the entire sidewalk grid out of a city at once. unfortunately, Sigourney Weaver also seems to know a lot about sidewalks for some reason.
Yeah, what movie was she in that was really sidewalk heavy, Joe?
Where the
Well,
sidewalk ends.
Oh, okay.
specifically, she's going to use her experience from the movie Holes.
Shit.
And
Beat at my own game.
when
God damn
I
it.
pull up one of these sidewalks, she is hiding in a little hole under the
Amazing.
sidewalk and throws a poison lizard directly into my face.
Amazing.
Is the hole just as wide as her shovel and just as deep as her shovel?
Oh yes, but it's a big shovel. So
Why didn't they consider big shovels in that movie?
Can I just pause for a second and say the guy who played the best friend character, whose name I can't remember at this point in time, in the movie, is all over my TikTok for the last 2 weeks.
Hilarious.
He's very excited about holes still being very popular for kids at school.
Honestly, very fair of him. I'll go next. I rolled 2 fails and then a 3. And I'm gonna use my success towards becoming the CEO of Tums. And yeah, no, I did get a promotion. I am a step closer to becoming CEO. I'm like head of a single factory, and it's one of the smaller ones, but we're getting there. We're getting there eventually.
I'll go next. I did finish my personal agenda of burning all the bridges, so I was feeling on the last mission. I was feeling pretty good. But this time I rolled 2 6s. So I'm super like I'm just kind of following behind the grand digester as you're going about your sidewalk business, kind of being like, oh, I'm just, I don't even know what to do. I've accomplished everything I've set out to accomplish. And so when Sigourney Weaver jumps out and throws a poison lizard at you, I am not ready. As she then just pulls a shotgun out and absolutely obliterates me.
Are you gone?
Yeah, I'm gone, buddy.
Oh, you're dead.
I'm dead.
What was the new title you very briefly had?
Overseer of oxygen.
Incredible. You burnt every bridge, and in the end, Sigourney gets you.
It's true.
Can we talk about the fact that in addition to Gaming Steven's great comment and chat, that the name of the juice that was a mix of peaches and onions was named Sploosh in Holes?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
It was Splish. Tony and Ray, how did that go for you?
I got 3 successes.
Jesus.
So I can get out of Belgium if I want to, I guess, or I can surge us closer. Now that Sigourney Weaver is on our tail, I feel like I really should probably be investing in directing the operations from Belgium and just surging us towards the end. Otherwise, we will die.
That's very fair. Ray, how'd you do?
I got a 2 and a 6. So we overzealous with the trying to get containers ready for this sidewalk deal. I think we overdid it and had some casualties in the container factory.
Rip. Well, as Sigourney comes into the picture, this is a great time to take a quick break.
Awesome.
So we should take a 5. And then...
Before we do that, I want to go ahead and say the name of the side character, who is played by I don't know how to pronounce his name for sure, but
Are we talking Corbin Blue?
Hello, Thomas. No, the best friend from Holes his name was Hector Zeroni, which is just a really good name. The character's name was Hector Zeroni. Also, what a cast: Shia LaBeouf, Cleo, Patricia Arquette, John Voight, Sigourney Weaver, Dul Hill, Eartha Kitt, and Louis Sikar. Great, just phenomenal cast.
I fully forgot
Henry
Eartha
Winkler.
Kitt was in this movie.
It's just
She
really
was
really
the
solid cast.
grandmother, right?
Yeah, she was Madame
Great
Zerani.
Yeah. Great grandmother, maybe, however many grandmothers ago.
First them for always an eternity.
All right. Well,
Perfect.
we're
Yeah,
gonna-
we should take a 5.
welcome
All
to
right.
our Holes fan cast. We'll be right back in 5 minutes.
We're back. We're here.
We're grotesque and finely dressed.
Grotesque and finely dressed. And we're ready for another alien plan.
Ray, it falls to you. Where are we? What are we doing?
Good question. I guess we're at another chalk mine in Nebraska because I have the page open. And we are again trying to conceive of a more efficient way to extract this calcium carbonate.
I'm afraid with the oxygen overseer out, we need to make haste on this plan. The resistance is catching up to us, and I've yet to become CEO of Tums.
I mean, I've become liege of waffles. How hard could it be to become CEO of Tums?
I think Tums are a bigger deal than waffles.
It does
I don't
seem
know
like you're
about
dropping
that.
the ball a little bit.
Maybe if you had ever tried a Tum, you might have done better in the interview.
Grand Digester, you repeatedly say things that are heretical. Yet we allow you to stay.
And also, we're not supposed to talk about people eating Tums. Like I had a pod mate who ate Tums one time, and we don't talk about it.
You do seem to talk about it a lot for something
We
you
don't
talk about.
talk about it.
So good.
So about this plan,
Yes. What about it?
I thought you had one.
The plan was to take over this chalk mine, I believe. Were you not listening, Grand Digester?
The chalk, it was just so distracting. So
You know, you haven't been the same since your
Tasty.
desiccation.
I feel like don't we already own this chalk?
We do.
It's
We
already mine.
Fuck you. I'm Sarah, what's Sigourney Weaver up to while this happens? How are you preparing?
I know that the aliens have been spread across Earth, and I know that they seem to be gathering in Nebraska. So I'm in a small cabin nearby with a orange tabby cat, just sitting in a chair, calmly petting this kitty, and like thinking to myself, the sidewalks. What do they want with the side and the chalk? And then I'll hold up the cat and look at the cat and say, your ass is on the line. What are you going to do about it? And that's where we're going to fade out.
Yeah. Perfect. Ray, how do you feel like sorry, I'm trying to scroll too much at once. Which trait do you feel like you're using here? Do you feel like you're being cruel, extruding, or vain by taking this mine?
I think vain.
Hell yeah.
We've already got a exorbitant amount of chalk from the Waffle Liege's exploits, so I think we're just really trying to overdo it.
I mean, mine is pure calcium carbonate, but sure, chalk.
Tomato.
Great. So you'll roll the 2 dice for vain plus 1 to 3 of your own dice. Everybody else is going to roll 1 to 3 dice. Sarah, how many dice are you rolling?
I'm that's a great question. I'm rolling 2.
Perfect. Oh no. Y'all, I'm not even playing. One second, because I know nobody will believe
Please
me.
walk into the other room quickly.
Look at this. 6, 6, 6. What the
Ooh.
fuck?
Amazing. Welcome. Join me, brother, sister, friend.
If Kegan says that a specific celebrity, it was 100% a play. It was 100% a play if Kegan says a specific celebrity. I will never believe it was not.
I do wonder who the celebrity you're thinking is, because I do have a plan now. But Well, we know what I rolled. What did everyone else do?
So
Go ahead.
I got a 1, a 4, and a 6. So I have been very half-heartedly going about capturing this mine. I've been having my minions actually sneak me back little bits of the calcium carbonate. Just a lick. Just a little taste. I'm just covered in like chalky residue. And as I do that, a little orange cat just slinks in through the air vent and viciously attacks me from behind. I'm left hanging by a thread. But this has allowed me to test the peppers that I was planning to eat. And my new title is
if you want us to come back to you while you think, that's
yeah,
fine.
I'll think about that for a second.
Yeah, Tony, it sounded like you were going to say something as well.
If I burn my title, does it make it a success or does it just get rid of the 6?
It just gets rid of the 6. Ray, how did we do?
I've one 6 and 2 successes.
Okay.
So I can either get out of Belgium, or we can complete the objective before Sigourney kills us all. Ray, how about you?
I got 2 successes, but also a 6, so I am dead at the end of this.
This is perfect. Where are you putting those pips towards, bud?
This is a good question. I think I would put one towards the grand endeavor and one towards my personal agenda of making containers great again.
Okay, I rolled 2, so I'm gonna block the one towards the great endeavor. And I feel like that's what happens is you're trying to do that, like you've got your one squared away and you're going for the other one. And the cat finishes messing up Joe and
The Grand Digester.
The Grand Digester, and comes out of the shadows. And you think that there's a red pigment on its little claws as it comes closer to you, and you just hear the voice of Sigourney Weaver from out of nowhere. This is my special nail polish. I make it myself. You want to know what my secret ingredient? Rattlesnake venom. And the cat will reach out and claw at you. And she goes, I just love what it does with the coloring. It's perfectly harmless when it's dry. And that's when you'll realize the nail polish is absolutely still wet. Something about the chemical reaction to the Grand Digester reactivated the nail polish. And you are murdered ruthlessly with rattlesnake venom.
What movie was it from?
From Holes.
Holes.
Oh, that was Holes.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, tell us what you're doing with your points here.
I put both of them in the ultimate plan because
I'm gonna block one of those.
I'm trying to burn to the end here, baby. Okay.
Get out of here.
Otherwise, we would have won.
Yeah. I do think we do see the Lord of Tum's Cold Storage again, fully ignoring the plan, really invested in becoming the CEO.
I thought about getting out of Belgium just so I could take that same thing and try to beat you to it.
I love when someone does that. It's happened to me almost every game. But we do see, I do come in, they sit me down and oh, you're getting a promotion. We just need you to talk to one of the higher ups. And rotating around in the chair is, of course, none other than Keanu Reeves.
If you had picked Ludacris, that was the one where I was like, this is 100% play. There's no way this was real.
That's very fair. No. It's Keanu Reeves. And he fucking murders me. Lord of Tum's Cold Storage is fucking out of the picture.
Is there a game where you just play different characters that Keanu Reeves has been? Because if not, I need that game to exist.
Somebody make it quick, quick, quick.
Great. And with that, I think Tony and Joe are the only two people left.
Yeah. Well, the next time you see me, I am wearing a very tiny little tam o' shanter.
Sarah joined too hard.
It's true.
So yeah, I think we're safe here. We can get the rest of the calcium carbonate out of there. I mean, I think there's a reason you and
Tell
I
me
are
about the spicy core. I'm
to
in.
squeeze you to eat the spicy core. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's red, kind of in orange, kind of like that thing on your head, and it's very. I've heard it's hot. I heard it'll burn your tongue out of your mouth. I mean, like that's what I've heard about the core of this planet.
But if I need to, I could always just have a little taste of the calcium carbonate here to counteract it,
I mean,
right?
we're not supposed to eat calcium carbonate.
What's the worst that could happen?
Well, I mean, they did turn into Sigourney Weaver.
Oh.
The tunnels beneath Belgium, headed for the core of the planet.
Yeah, I think we see our group of rebels here. Also, we're the group of rebels, of course, in Brussels, which is the capital of Belgium. I didn't have to Google that. I did just know that fact. I didn't have to Google that. I did just know that fact. Sigourney Weaver's leading this group of rebels, and we see Keanu Reeves come in the door. People keep asking if I'm.
Since we're in Brussels, I am using the extra D6 ability of my Waffle King title, by the way.
Sarah, how many dice are you planning to roll here?
I'm gonna be rolling 3.
Yeah, what does Sigourney know that's gonna be?
Well, I mean, they're trying to dig to the core of the planet, and I know something about digging holes, okay? Like, they walked right into this one, buddies.
I love how you've been able to live in just
work holes into literally everything.
Let's make why did they just giant?
Because otherwise,
Everything.
Let's make the giant.
because otherwise that'd make it really easy to get it.
I did, in fact, just quote John Wick chapter.
Extensive drilling knowledge of Armageddon being an oil rig, whatever they were doing.
Hell yeah. Let's roll.
I'll be rolling 3 dice.
I would point out we are going to get a very, very spicy food as head of the Scotch Bonnet Society. You could potentially roll a 4.
I will roll a 4th
we do
die.
need every die.
You're absolutely right. I should not have rolled the 4th die.
Burn the title to prevent it too. Not turn sound back on when we came
No,
back.
it's on. It's on.
I don't hear anything on it.
Okay.
Do you want to just take